Well, it's official, people. It is happening. New York Comic Con 2021 is officially on record. It's on the books. It's happening. Cons might be back. Cons are back. And it's just so kind of surreal. Just looking back at the last year, almost year and a half, and just to see, because honestly, I was at a point where I was like, listen, I might be tapped. I might be good on conventions, especially because I just fresh off of C2E2. Like, I mean, a week or so, like less than. I'm trying to think. I was probably at C2E2 a couple weeks before shit shut down in America, and I was thinking all the things I was thinking about all the things that I was going to, I was ready to just be done with. Movie theaters, conventions right there, just the mass of people, enclosed spaces. Like, this is just not happening. I'm good. Casino dealer, step away. I'm out of here. But there was some optimism in there, and people were trying to hold out. Like, all right, are these events going to be happening again? Are they going to be going on? And like, time went on. Like, hey, things are shutting down. Things are getting worse. Some places, parts of the world, parts of America, and everybody's like, yeah, everybody's optimistic about, or hopeful. Yeah, I guess you say optimistic, but extremely hopeful about conventions coming back. Blah blah blah. Yes, I know everybody misses them. I do too. I was on the convention circuit hard from 2005 when I started going to them to about 2015. Took a couple years off and went back. And like in that time span, those 10, 11 years, whatever, I was hitting when I started like one convention for a few years, and then some years two for a few years, and there were a couple years in there I had three conventions, like backpack, a bunch of books ready to go to get signed, and bringing a bunch more books back home to add to the collection for some good reading, and like just so many fun memories from conventions. Just the people I meet, like creators, met just a couple celebrities, and just like the friends just hanging out, convention lobbies, on the show floor, walking around, taking pictures, just having a good old time, like living our best lives on the show floor, just taking funny pictures or video clips, and just seeing all the stuff that conventions bring. But we're going to get back to that in a second. But going back to the optimism, I dropped a video sometime, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I think some people took from it, because I know one of the comments was there was just a convention hater and blah, 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 this. And I get people miss conventions. I do, trust me. I do it more than anybody. But there has to be like an element of realism in what was going on, especially at the time. Like, yeah, now, and people going to one-day shows, that's not really a signifier of anything. That doesn't mean anything. That just means you managed to wrangle up 20 people who were fine with like huddling up in a hotel ballroom or whatever for a small, 7-8 hour show. But when you really talking about what's going on with like current and like for the future, you have to look at these bigger conventions. New York Comic Con, now obviously San Diego Comic Con canceled. They're doing a virtual event this year, and you'll also, if you go to my blog, GENOTHADRAGON.wordpress.com, I posted, I think last week. I was trying to get back to blogging, and I did an updated convention calendar for throughout the rest of the year. So at the time, yeah, it was posted right when July began, and events scheduled throughout the rest of the year, comparing it to my convention calendar, which I last updated in 2019. Obviously, that was a full year's worth of events, and now this was much shorter, and that was just stuff that's scheduled right now. So New York Comic Con, C2E2, Emerald City Comic Con, terrific cons coming up. And I listed some of the virtual events as well. Again, San Diego Comic Con, and a couple other ones mixed in there as well. Some virtual and a few in-person ones. So, but it was just the only reason I even know this and decided to drop this video, because I had another video planned to drop today, Friday. But I woke up and I was checking my email, and I got one from ReedPop, and it was your personal link for New York Comic Con 2021. I was like, wait, what? Is this happening? Which is for Sunday. So I was like, oh, I don't even know how much the tickets are, which is a failing on their part, because they always do this. I think everybody does this. I know, I'm trying to think. I usually hit ReedPop conventions more than anybody else's, so I see that from them, but I feel like everybody else does this. There's no way to know what ticket prices are without going to the website. But if you try to do it while something big is going on, their websites crashed, so we couldn't access the website. So I had no idea. I was just curious, like what the because my link was for Sunday. Okay, tickets go on sale this weekend. I think they already were, because I saw some people. So I checked Twitter after I couldn't get on the website just to see, like, if anybody else was talking about, like, this is New York Comic Con. The same thing with San Diego Comic Con, Emerald City, C2E2. When these bigger conventions are on the like, not on the rise, but just coming around the corner, or whatever, or when the tickets even come up, like, that's everybody's talking about them, especially like Facebook and Twitter. People are talking about them because everybody's trying to figure out if, like, who are, like, their other friends, social media friends, like, hey, we want to meet up, or just let people know their successes and their failures regarding getting tickets. So I checked Twitter, and people had already gotten them. So I'm like, okay, and I hit a couple of threads, and then finally saw that somebody mentioned, I don't know if this is unconfirmed because I haven't been able to hit their website yet, but somebody said that their New York Comic Con tickets are $60 a person per day. So in New York Comic Con, Thursday through Sunday. So 4 days of just all types of nerd fun, comics, video games, anime, cosplay, dealer rooms, artist alley, panels, showcases, and screenings, and all those types of other discussions, and just all types of fun stuff on the floor. Other events, kids events, probably on a Sunday as well, and just dopeness all around. So it kind of had me, and I used to always get this mode when thinking about conventions, whenever just schedules just ready to go, or like when tickets hit, or like getting ready for a convention, when it's looming like weeks away, and you got to get ready, like start packing up, or pulling books if you want to get book signed, like I used to do a lot. And I would just get incredibly geeky. Like, you can probably see it right now. I would be ready, and I would, like, conventions are going, I'm out of here, see y'all, and just hit the show, and be going. So, like, getting back to it, Ace Comic Con and C2E2 early last year was fantastic. And then we get the pandemic, which, by the way, is still going on. It's not done. Just because a lot of things open back up and people are just out here willy-nilly doing whatever they want, doesn't mean it's over. Like, this is still going on. So, like, vaccinate, wear your mask, continue safety precautions, and these bigger events and stuff like that is cool, but, like, don't let it blind you completely. But again, this is still fun because, again, go check that calendar on my blog, and you kind of see some of the events that are scheduled for this year. And I just had to share this because I was absolutely geeked, and just the optimism for conventions. And again, I had to set New York Comic Con as a great barometer, the word for it, because again, the one-day shows are cool, and I enjoy them as well, like small one-day shows, and you get a lot of comics, but that doesn't really, like, say anything as far as what conventions could look like in the future, and just what they really truly can do as far as we getting back. Obviously, probably going to be reduced capacity for a lot of things until maybe next year, and we'll kind of see. But there's absolutely some optimism to be had. Conventions are back. Hopefully, obviously you should be on the lookout for precautions, and if you have medical conditions, you should, like, think extra hard about, is it something that you want to do? Like, are you ready to get back to these locations and dealing with, I don't imagine there'll be the same kind of crowds, but as far as number wise, but just massive people, and hey, it could be super spreader events, all that type of stuff. But again, conventions are back, and see New York Comic Con and everything else on the calendar, and I will update that for 2022 as well. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. So I don't know, I just wanted to share just in case you hadn't seen the news, but also if you did, and if you're interested in New York Comic Con, if you've ever been, if you plan on going, like, did you get your tickets? Are you planning to get tickets? Like, would you want to go? And what are some of the things that you would like to see? I actually have in the works a series of convention videos, and kind of a look back at some of my own memories, some of my favorite memories, and kind of like some beginner's guides and some tips. So obviously, because I've been to so many around the country for so many years, so obviously if you want to hear about some of those tips, like, definitely just drop let me know in the comments below, because I will absolutely, like, fast track that and get that going, because I think it'll just be cool and kind of give some of y'all an inside look, and just kind of bring back some of those tips videos as conventions start to come back fully, like one-day shows, weekend shows, full, like, big 3, 4, 5 day shows, and like San Diego Comic Con's 5-day show if you count preview night. New York Comic Con's 4, Emerald City bumped up to 4, C2E2 still 3, I think. But yeah, just a lot of stuff out there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below about just optimism regarding conventions, and they're back. New York Comic Con. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely gonna keep an eye out on what's gonna happen with that, the guests that are gonna be there, all that type of stuff. So yeah, let's share. We're gonna have some fun with this. And so yeah, happy reading, happy hunting, happy collecting. This is GENOTHADRAGON. Thanks for watching, and peace out.